Alright guys, so we're gonna have a little show and tell video here. Let me move this out of the way. Thing in here. This is my Gaming 5 that died. I've done a bunch of testing on it and probing on it. Something happened with the fan header. Fan header 5 volt and 12 volt are crossed somehow. But anyway, let's do a quick comparison. Before I get started, I just wanted to show you guys, since I used to be sponsored, just wanted to show you that these boards are all paid for. The only person sponsoring me right now is my wallet. So anyway, that's out of the way. Let's take this Gaming 7 out of the box here. Roll that aside for a second. See what we got inside this box. Looks like temp sensors. More temp sensors. SATA cables. That looks like RGB. Stickers. Whoopie-doo. Velcro straps. Those are cool, kind of. Back plate. Looks like almost like a nickel-plated. It's a darker black color instead of like your cheesy aluminum. SLI bridge. Little connector for the power. Multilingual installation guide. Manual, CD, more SATA cables. Anyway, that's what you get in the box. Boxes for me, I like them because I bench on top of them. That's about all they're good for. This box is actually a little bit fancier than some of the other boxes. This room has no rug in it. I don't suggest touching motherboards without an anti-static strap, but I overclock them and pretty much that's all I'm doing with it. Board feels pretty sturdy, so build quality is pretty top notch on both of them as far as the PCB goes. Obviously, this is black, this is black, this is white, these are white. The cover's been removed on this board already. It's actually right here. The reason why the cover is removed is because I found in my testing that this VRM runs hot. If you go on Gigabyte site and you look up their, I think it was a Z270 Intel boards, you see the board that supports a 4-core 8-thread chip Intel CPU has the exact same heat sinks as this, like right down to the identical dimension, size, mounting hardware, and it has a heat pipe. You can see there's a hole for a heat pipe there, but it's not there because of the 8-pin. So basically it looks like they stole the heat sinks off their Intel line and just slapped them on the AMD board. So 4-core 8-thread heat sinks, VRM sinks on a 8-core 16-thread chip. Yeah, that's not usually going to go over too well, but anyway. One of the things I noticed is, you know, that's missing right there. And as you can see, there's a header here. That's for the light. You could probably solder in your own wires and put a light there if you wanted to. What else stares at us right off the rip? Alright, you see this pad over here? There's nothing there. And then on this board, we see there's a chip right here. They actually moved some stuff around. They've got more of the chips here. And 6, 8 on this board. And they've got 7, 8, 9, 11 on that board. So, don't know what they were doing over there. But then you see that the rest of it's identical. So, anyway, that's the ICS chip. I can't read everything it says on it, but it says ICS. That's basically where your B clock comes from. Someone had asked me about sockets, like on the Tai Chi. I failed to mention it before, but all of them seem to be using a Foxconn socket. Some of them appear to be using different AM4 brackets, but they all appear to be using Foxconn socket. This one's Foxconn also. Other differences in the board. Nothing really stands out cap placement wise. Everything looks pretty much identical. Should probably mention this. Rev 1.0. Still Rev 1.0. I had reached out to Gigabyte and had mentioned to them about the sinks, so it would be quite evident that this is a 1.0 board. They haven't done anything about it. Don't like the M2 placement. Never did on this board. I'm not a fan of the metal shields on these. I've already killed the card. I shorted this card out on it. When I was pulling it out, I actually touched the metal, I think. I mean, it's that close, but it's possible this is, from back when I was working really closely with AMD, so I had engineering samples. It's possible that this engineering sample failed, but I think I shorted it out on that. So yeah, it's anchored in 5 points. They've got one anchored. These aren't anchored, but each one of the PCI X slots is anchored with 5 solder joints. I remember reading a user ripped one out on an MSI, but doesn't have a shield on the bottom one, so that explains why he ripped it out. Using that board right there, the one thing that was annoying to me is the LEGs are just, or RGB or whatever you want to call it, just way too aggressive. It's things like a light show, and I just don't like it, but that's my personal opinion. I mean, really, other than the RGB for the shield over here, which I'm going to end up removing that anyway, and the B clock chip and these, I don't even know what you would call these, transistors, whatever. I'm not, I don't build boards, so I'm not familiar with the term. You can go to someone else a little bit more technical on the subject and find out what those are, but there's more there on that board. Everything else looks identical. I see no other differences. I don't expect it to perform any differently. Looks like there's plenty of room for me to measure on the back of the socket, and I plan on doing that. A little spot right there. Other than that, the board's pretty clean on the backside. So. Anyway, get to see one in person, unboxed, clean. And Gigabyte did reach out to me to get me to send this board, and I've just been so busy I haven't sent it to him yet. I'm gonna reach out to him again and see if I can get another UPS slip and get it out to him. Maybe they can figure out what happened with this board. I think there's something up with either this chip or the fan header, something shorted out inside. So, but yep, there you have it. There's your 2 Gigabyte boards. And give me a few days. I'll fire it up. I'm gonna check socket voltage versus BIOS voltages, and we're going to see if we can get 32 gig to run either in 4x8 or 2x16. So look at that. Always dropping screws around here. Anyway, thanks for tuning in.